Hello guys, in this video we will talk about how this code works and how to connect it to your existing inventory setup of your project. First real main question is, are you gonna keep this using as a plugin, or you will transfer this data from the C++ files into your existing C++ project? In case you are a Blueprint user and you know this is your first plugin that is actually using a bass player controller, you can get away with keeping it as a plugin. I think for everyone else, most likely what you want to do is copy paste this code. Just be careful what's public and what's protected to keep it the same way. So the easiest way to transfer the files from the plugin, if you open, let's say I have on the left side I have the plugin files, on the right hand side I have project. Definitely make some subfolder structures because we'll end up with hundreds of these. You copy paste it there, then you do the same for the private. So you get the CPP files in. Once you are done with the transfer, come up and you right click and you do generate Visual Studio project files. So you wait a little bit. Once the files are generated, when you click with your mouse in a Visual Studio, it will ask you reload, and suddenly all that stuff will appear here. These APIs will be wrong. So what you need to then change is, in all the .h files, you highlight this and you put Ctrl+Shift+F, and then you do replace in files, and here you just put your new API. Okay, whatever your project API is, and you do, for example, here you select enter current project, yeah, and it will fix all of them. So another important thing is to transfer from the plugin Scifi Radial Menu .build.cs the data to your project .build.cs. So make sure you copy paste the same stuff as it is in the plugin. So next thing, you will have to address the includes. So whatever subfolders you created, and then you add the subfolders, and that way the includes will be correct. So now that you have successfully transferred the C++ code, when you create a new Blueprint child, you will have to transfer the data, and I will show you a little trick to do that. Once you copy it and you create a new class, what you can do is just duplicate it. Let's say you name it dash new. Then you can just simply change the class to, for example, like common activable widget. Yes, so you reparent and then just save. I mean, obviously you now move it to your new project, and then again you do the class back to whatever is your C++ class. In case you guys know of a better system how to do it easier, please share with everyone in the video. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but that's why I'm saying this is the first important step to decide how you are gonna deal with it, yeah? Because then what I used to do, you will have to go and check wherever it's settings. It doesn't matter what Blueprint you open, I always put all the important stuff. So now let's say I want to reparent it back to the base radial menu. Okay, so you reparent it. Now you are gonna have to so really you just have to check this BI event. So this, for example, this play custom animation, now you are gonna have to fix it. So you're gonna have to go play event, play custom animation. So be careful with that when you move stuff. Don't forget to fix this one, because otherwise you will be wondering why it's not working. Okay, and then the second important step is you're gonna go here and show inherited variables. Yes, here you will find settings, and you check every single one of them because they are all now empty. So you go and fill it in, okay? So that's the first step. You kind of decide how you're gonna deal with the structure. So I'm going to assume for the purpose of this demonstration that you have successfully made the decision whether you are using a plugin or you transferred it to your big project that you are working on. So then really the next thing will be to decide on the input. So you can see I have done like a very basic thing here that on the begin play I will initiate the enhanced input local player subsystem, okay? And the important thing here is most likely you already have your existing systems. Add to this one your mappings, yeah? So you name it something that makes sense to you, and as you see, I haven't really touched it. All I did is super simple stuff like the actions. So you create the actions, and all I selected was digital bool, and that's it. I haven't done any other settings. Yeah, I wanted to transfer the functionality in the easiest way. Most likely you won't need this one, yeah, because that's just the shortcuts, and this you're gonna create your own system on how to open it and when to open it. But here I've just explained it how I done it and where you will have to connect your own stuff. So as you can see, when this input key is pressed, which is in this case it's number 1, because that's how I set it up here, yeah. So here I have weapon selection key press number 1. So when 1 is pressed, think he's gonna check is any other radial menu widget visible. If that's true, then obviously I don't want to open another one, because that would really mess up the things. On the other hand, when it's closing, we have to specifically check if that one is open, and if that's the case, then we proceed with the code. Let me talk first also about this index. When you highlight the cursor, you're gonna see how I made the indexes in the C++ code. If you want to add more stuff like 5, 6, 7, whatever, of course you can just follow the C++ code. You will have to get your hands dirty inside of the C++ code if you want to specialize it to your needs. Other than that, there are 4 options prepared. The name doesn't matter, you can change it to whatever you like. After this C++ function is closed, in the example we are just doing like really dumb thing, and that's just a print string. But this is the place where you disconnect this rubbish, and here you will connect to your functionality, most likely inside of the character, to connect corresponding gear. If I jump to my proper project, as you can see, I'm running this check in my character. If my character is valid, yes, then I get the current highlight index, and based off that index I will equip my FP weapon from index, and I just start fade. This is temporary until I do a proper animations for the weapon swaps. This is when I press 1. Then if I press 2, then it's gonna say equip FP throwable from index and equip FP tool. But this is the part of the code where you connect your own logic to whatever inventory system you already have in place. For the showcase, I have made this like fun stuff. If you press it will equip the icon, but it's obviously you are gonna have to make your own code, but I wanted to show you the C++ functions that you will be using for it. Yes. So when you equip an item somewhere in your code, you can call this. Yeah. It's all exposed to blueprints, so don't stress out. Yeah. If you are not a C++ guy, but you should really start with the C++ as soon as possible. You will hate me for first 3 months, but you will thank me later. So if you want to clear the image item, then obviously just careful with the indexes and make some system. It's just a soft ref here, so much better than the hard ref. Yeah. So this press number 5, that's just for the showcase. I will come to the APS widget and explain everything about it later on. Let's just finish this this kind of important thing about the bass player controller. And we have settings here. These settings are in a struct. Yeah. I would suggest don't mess with it. If you want the mouse cursor, be my guest. I don't think you want that. I would say don't mess with this stuff unless you are ready to dive into a C++ code and understand it, how it works. Of course, if you understand how it works, then you might want to adjust it to your specific needs. But for Blueprint users, you can play with it. I mean, I have clumped it, so you can't make a terrible mistake, but you know, you can always go to the default anyway. But with this loop interval, I would suggest don't touch it, because it can break the functionality if you do it wrong, okay? If you are wondering why should I pay for it and how much code is there, then let's have a look, right? Let's have a look. Where are we? So it's just some 720 lines, so not too bad, but I have to say it was a bit hard with the includes and stuff, and there was quite a bit of debugging to do. The main functions that really are the meat, right? That's just some really, these are the helper functions. When you will be connecting your existing, you can use these helper functions to do whatever you need. So clear image item, we talked already about that. Set image item, yes, you will have to use these, that's for sure. The radial menu index, depending on which radial menu is open, it will set a variable here. That's an radial menu index by default -1, and when the widgets are closed, it should set it back to -1. Through this RM index, we are actually controlling a lot of stuff inside of these functions, so make sure you are always spot on with the correct value. This is just really like for your convenience and to create your own logic. This set equipped index functions. We have just some soft class pointers. Don't forget to fill them in. Yeah, it's here in the settings. Yes, whatever you adjust and create new, don't forget to fill them in, or the code won't work. Now we have this important function, create radial menus. If the boolean returns false, then obviously something went terribly wrong, so you should be definitely using output log. In case you don't see it, then you go here, output log, there we are. So that's you always should watch for any yellow stuff. There is a bunch of helper functions. Is cursor almost in the same place? This is where we are checking on this mouse sensitivity. That's kind of how far before we react, because we don't want it too sensitive. That's not good. Discord. The real meat are these functions: select correct segment and select next highlights. Basically, one of the functions only happens the first time, remembering stuff from the past. Have a look on those functions. I left some comments in them. I obviously don't want to show the meat in a public video, but in case you have ideas how to make it better, or you are struggling with something, just register on the Discord, and we talk in private on the Discord. Rest is just self-explanatory. A lot of very useful functions that you can use throughout the project.